across government in England about precisely what restrictions might be introduced next week, the interests of the economy being considered to get the balance right there. But certainly Whitehall sources are indicating tonight that these warnings from the north of England about hospital numbers are a cause for concern.
Hugh, many thanks again. Hugh Pym, our health editor. Now, next year's National 5 exams in Scotland, broadly equivalent to GCSEs, are to be cancelled. They'll be replaced with teacher assessments and coursework. Scotland's Education Secretary, John Swinney, said that sitting the exams during the pandemic was too big a risk. Higher and advanced higher exams will go ahead, but slightly later than usual. Our Scotland correspondent Lorna Gordon has more details.
How are you doing, class afternoon?
At Port Glasgow High School, these fourth-year pupils are studying for their National 5 qualifications, which are broadly equivalent to GCSEs. Now the exams they've been working towards have been scrapped, their grades to be based on continuous assessment instead.
I think it's pretty bad because it's very difficult for us to go on and we'll be thrown in at the deep end with our higher exams.
Tests in class ain't that bad, but I think it's just too much pressure to have like one big test determine your whole life.
Scotland was the first to reverse the controversial results from last year's cancelled exams to base them instead on teachers' estimates. It's now become the first to decide what to do about next year's exams as well. The Scottish Government, determined to avoid the disruption, anger and eventual U-turn that marred the summer, insisting this is a system of awards that can be delivered despite coronavirus.
It has evidence at its heart, it puts a robust system of quality assurance in place, and it works with teachers to award on the basis of their professional judgment. I believe it is fair, I believe it is rigorous, and of greatest importance, it gives us the opportunity to recognise the achievements of young people in Scotland in these challenging days.
At this school, they already had plans in place in case any exams were dropped.
We knew that this would be a year of disruption. We knew that there would be young people who might have to self-isolate for a significant amount of time, and therefore from day one we have talked about in school about continuous assessment, about how we gather evidence.
Pupils in England are expecting a decision on exams within the next few weeks, with Wales and Northern Ireland to follow, giving clarity to young people at a crucial time of their lives. Lorna Gordon, BBC News, Port Glasgow.
Almost 900 jobs are at risk across Manchester, Stansted and East Midlands airports, following a sharp drop in passenger numbers over the summer due to the pandemic. Manchester Airport Group says it will begin consultation with the unions on the proposals. It comes as the pub chain Green King says it is closing nearly 80 pubs with the loss of around 800 jobs, and it has blamed the 10 p.m. closing time for a collapse in trade. Now, the head of the NHS in England says that hundreds of thousands of people could be suffering the effects of what is now known as long COVID. For most people, COVID-19 is a relatively mild illness which passes quickly. But many others are left struggling with symptoms for months afterwards. Some can be exhausted just with a short walk. Others can experience much more severe symptoms. Our medical editor, Fergus Walsh, has been investigating.
So initially I couldn't even climb a flight of stairs.
This is what long COVID can look like.
Okay, arms across your chest.
Suji Yatindra is a doctor in A&E. He got only a mild illness with COVID, yet it's left him so exhausted he's been off work for 3 months.
Short of breath quite easily, lots of muscle aches, joint pains. That's it really. If I do exercise, the next day I'm out of it.
Okay, so I'm going to time a minute and again.
This post-COVID clinic at London's University College Hospital is diagnosing a vast array